Welcome to the Blue Cup in the Attic. This is Kimmy Wyatt, and disclaimer, no portion of the Blue Cup in the Attic may be used without the expressed written consent of Kimmy Wyatt. Couple of announcements. YouTube, please join my YouTube channel, you guys. I am redoing the content of the channel by, or editing the content of the channel, changing cover photos of videos. I will be also, if there's errors or corrections that need to be addressed from the video content, I will put at the bottom in the text, at the top, text before watching, and then you'll see a list of some sort that will let you know what I meant to say instead of what I did say, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm also putting videos in playlist so that per topic, so that if you want to just see the Blue Cup in the Attic content, hey, guess what? You can just click the playlist for that. If you want to see Soup for the Soul content, you can click the playlist for that, et cetera, et cetera. And let's see, I'm also adding contact information to each video, and that will be consistent across the board. Just making some changes to the YouTube channel, changing the meta tags, etc., so that I go ahead and get that right now, as opposed to down the line, because I'm continuously posting up videos. Okay, this video is called the Drastic Move for TIs, targeted individuals. If you don't know what a TI is, which stands for targeted individual. My sinuses, by the way, my sinuses are here, but they are leaving, but they're still here. So you may hear me talk out of my nose or sound really nasal, and some of my words, because of it, or not, will not be pronunciated. You know, that's amazing. I'm nasal, but the word pronunciated came out absolutely perfect. So some of my words may not come out right, in other words. And so, because I am very nasal, and I do apologize. So if you hear me repeating something, that's because of my sinuses. What I also want to ask you guys to look up, when you look up targeted individuals, you will see terms such as gang stalking, electronic stalking, group stalking. Group stalking and gang stalking are the same thing. Electronic stalking can be included in both of those. Okay, but look those videos up on YouTube as well, and you will get an idea of what those three terms are. And pervs, PERVS, pervs are the ones that are doing the group electronic and gang stalking. Look all five of those terms up, you guys, and you'll get a summation of my life. You'll understand, hopefully, better what is going on in my life. And when I make a statement or say a term, you'll understand. I am doing this video. You're hearing that noise. I do have Mylar, layers of Mylar on top of me right now while I'm sitting in this chair, because, my pervs above my head are following me everywhere I go. Again, this is normal. So I'm sitting in a chair which I have moved 5 or 6 times since I have started recording. And so I have some connected Mylar that's connected with staples that I put on top of me to go to sleep. I do want to stress to you guys, and I found this out while in my vehicle, as well as in my former apartment. My former vehicle and apartment. Mylar, by the way, is another form of aluminum. The only thing that repels the high-tech cameras is aluminum, okay? And so there's different millimeters of aluminum, okay? You guys know that. And so, which equates to different thicknesses. And so I found out, just starting with 2 pieces of Mylar, using the car shields, windshield Mylar, which is, the windshield pieces that you can put in your windshield to keep the sun out. Okay. And so they go from left to right. You guys know what I'm talking about. They're made out of Mylar. Mylar is also balloons. Those balloons, not all balloons, because balloons can be made out of latex, but Mylar balloons are usually the ones that are in the dollar store that have to be blown up, and or in any store, but a lot of dollar stores I reference have Mylar balloons. These are the ones usually with the silver back, shiny silver back, or even if it's two-sided, the picture that's their happy birthday, happy anniversary, or whatever's there, even if it's on both sides, the balloon is made of Mylar in 100% of the cases, except for the latex balloons. Okay. And I'm sure balloons can be made out of something else, but I'm just saying at the dollar stores, just as a reference, you go in and say, I want 3 of those, and they'll blow them up. Those are Mylar balloons. Okay. And it's the same material for the windshield protector or whatever covers. So I have levels of windshield protectors over me because I found out that the high-tech equipment, that there's different levels of this high-tech equipment. If you do multiple layers, for instance, I was started out with just 1, 2, and then I migrated to 5, found out that was not enough, because as you go up, they're going to go up in the high-tech equipment, because you're covering yourself up and they still want to see you. And so even though I stapled 3, pieces of Mylar, and I have videos that I'm going to be publishing up to show you guys this, 3 pieces of Mylar, and plus, in other words, I made a blanket, with about 9 pieces of Mylar, 3 of those windshield, and not just Mylar, but the windshield covers, 3 and 3, and then going in the other directions, whatever it is. And so that's not even enough. So what I found myself having to do, which I was correct on both instances, there we go, in my vehicle as well as in my former apartment, is that if they want to see you, they're going to try their darndest to see you. Okay. These, you guys, sometimes I feel like I am in, some kind of I don't know. I really don't know. It's what the crazy thing is that they know that you don't want to be seen. They know that they are looking. They'll go to the ends of the earth to see you regardless of what's going on. Who does that? You guys, these are have you guys heard of machicism? Okay, even though these are Black African people above me, and I will be taking videos of them and pictures, just like I said, to let you guys know. I hope they hear what I'm saying, and I will be posting that on my Google Plus page, and there are pictures and videos. If you go to my Google Plus page, and this information is all at the bottom where the video's posted. If you go to my Google Plus page and you go to the blue cup in the attic, you will see their vehicle. Okay, with no license plate or anything, trying to give them some respect. Some people you just can't respect because they're not going to give you that same respect. Okay. Did not put a picture of their license plate number or anything like that. But I know my rights, and I know, the rights in the state of Texas, not just my rights, but the law. I said that wrong. I do know the laws, most of them in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, you can take pictures of someone's license plate number. So I will be putting pictures of their license plate number. I don't care. I have gone through too much to go through this and trying to give people more respect than they're giving me. So that will be done. And it's just a done deal. And so I will be doing that. And notice ever since I said I was going to do that they try to park their car. Normally their car would be right in front of my window, but they try to park their car where they can walk to it. But I would have to go outside to see them, or on my patio to see them getting in it. I don't care. I'm going to take their pictures. As a matter of fact, I said I'm going to take their pictures, but I actually already have their pictures from months ago. So that's a done deal. But I'm going to probably take additional ones, because you're not just going to watch me in my apartment. Just like now, I should not have to cover up like this because you are watching and following me in my freaking apartment with your little friend up there. I'm going to tell you, and what's so killing about it, as I was saying, with the 3 pieces of the 9 or was it 9 pieces or 12 pieces? 9 pieces of Mylar that I've stapled together. Not my first time stapling Mylar together. Not my first time putting Mylar together, period. Even with needle and thread. It could be folded 3 times. It was that big, that it could be folded like 3 times, the lengthwise. And so, they could still see me, you know, and I knew that you use your senses, you guys. Like I said, they could still see me even with the 3 pieces up under cover, all of that. So I folded them 3 times, which makes it difficult, but that wasn't even enough. I had to literally fold those 9 pieces, okay, that made a longer piece, that made one long piece, and then fold. So I've got 18 layers, put it that way. Once that was folded. I've got 18 layers of Mylar, not in the physical sense like I have 18 pieces, but I have 18 layers, 2 different things on my head right now of Mylar. And it's just absolutely amazing. I also want to note that I went somewhere, had to run some errands, I'm not going to mention here, this past Friday. And, or was it Friday? No, this was like maybe Thursday. And I saw a vehicle. I didn't know that the shuttle bus that comes here goes to a dollar store in the area. And not that I wanted to go to the dollar store, but it goes to $2 stores actually. And I got on there and I said, well, I'm just going to finish riding around with you. And this lady, she said, I'm going to go on my break, which I was unaware of. And so I had to get off, and then she came back through to pick me up, after her break. And so, but in the parking lot of that Dollar Tree were vehicles from people from my apartment complex. I actually talked to someone that owns a red vehicle that I've been seeing here lately, and talked to them. I said, you live in the complex. They were just sitting there. Also passed by a burgundy vehicle, that looks exactly like a Cadillac vehicle that is owned by people in this building. Hadn't seen that Cadillac here lately, but here's the deal. I thought that it was stopping talking to this person with the red vehicle. Mind you, I struck up a conversation with them on purpose. And the reason why is, by the way, is because when I go to the front of this apartment complex, I am followed. You will see an entourage of vehicles coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out. Just like water when I'm up at the front. And so I noticed, at that particular dollar store, or a red vehicle that I had seen, not before, but had seen here lately, a little red vehicle. And so I went up to the person, and they did admit that they lived in the complex, and I let them know what was going on with me, trying to test them and see what they knew, kind of, sort of, but just talking to them honestly. And so I had passed by this burgundy, SUV car, the cars that look like mini SUVs, and I looked at the emblem on the vehicle and saw that it was, when I came into this to the sidewalk, I could have sworn it said Cadillac. But I guess I was wrong, because it was still sitting there, female in the vehicle, just sitting there. You guys are following me. And so finally, I left the person in the red to go see what this person was actually doing. Something I don't mind doing. I don't care. You can get mad at me if you want. So I went to the window, basically, almost, and they didn't want to let the window down. And not that I was right at the window, but I'm on the sidewalk of the Dollar Tree, and they're parked. Okay, so you can imagine, and I'm kind of sort of in front of, or on the side of the vehicle. And so I noticed walking up to the vehicle that it was not a Cadillac, and I know I looked twice and saw a Cadillac. In other words, these are 2 vehicles that look just alike, faking the funk. And so I asked the person something, how did they live? Whatever it was, I asked them. Yeah, she barely let the window down and said, no, you guys, why is that vehicle in this parking lot parked where this other vehicle had started parking? It was in this parking lot, and I didn't get a chance to see who left in it because I was up at the front and walked back to my apartment and noticed it. I said, oh my God, that's the same vehicle that of the lady that I talked to that was in the parking lot. In other words, they were looking for me. Okay, they didn't have no clue where I was. So what they will do, you guys, oh gosh, they will go. This is straight up stalking. Okay, they will go to. In my case, there's not like a Walmart or this is almost the woods. And what I mean by the woods, like there's hardly anything here where I live. And you can get to gas stations and things, but like right under your nose, no. And so I was like, wow, this vehicle is the same vehicle of now I don't know who it belonged to. Now that would be a lie, but the same vehicle that I saw in the parking lot of that Dollar Tree store. And I asked her something, didn't know if it was a male or female, but I asked her something and she answered in a nervous kind of way. And, I just went on about my business. Yeah, this vehicle was just parked in the same spot that this Cadillac that looks like it parks all of a sudden. Now, mind you, these people, excluding this vehicle I'm referencing, they live in the building, but they live at the other end of the building. Why are you parking your vehicle not right in front of my apartment, but the spaces? You got the row, the row of parking. You got the vehicles right at the apartment complex or my building, and then you've got the row, and then you've got the other row on the other side of the. When I say row, that's what you go down in your vehicle to get to a parking spot. And so you got parking spot, row, and then parking spot. Okay. And so in other words, parking right across from someone or whatever. Yeah, that vehicle a Cadillac, just like that one, used to park right there. And I know these people and was wondering, why are you parking right there? You can't not see your vehicle. Does that make any sense to you guys? I can't see my vehicle, but I have a vehicle that I can't see and but what's going on with it, but I'm still going to park over here across from Kimmy. Are you guys feeling me? The only way that would happen is that you really can see your vehicle because of the cameras in the apartment complex, and because I have my windows, my blinds up all the time. Cut, bam. You can see your vehicle. But I asked this lady, I know what it was. I asked this lady, did she live in Hutchins Gateway or something? She said no. Well, if you don't live in Hutchins Gateway, that may or may not be true, but that vehicle it was just in this parking lot. I didn't get a chance to see who got in it, Same vehicle though. Because this is, like I said, I'm in the boonies, basically. And so it's no longer a Cadillac, it is like a Chevrolet. Same color, everything. As if I wouldn't notice the emblem, like, okay, this is not their vehicle, this is a Cadillac. I mean, this is a Chevrolet. So just to tell you that, you guys, but this video, I'm doing this video, stupid, by the way, world's dumbest criminals. But if you see me, or if you hear this noise, that's why. That's just to let you know that I'm moving at that moment, and you're going to hear that noise. You may also hear the tablet that I've written these on, because there's a list of these. So what the drastic move means is, if you are a targeted individual as I am, and you have moved just recently and you're wondering how they found you again, you would be surprised, like the Mylar, going to the higher tech equipment to see through the layers and layers. You would be surprised to find out what length these idiots will go to still see you. Okay. I mean, whatever they have to do. As I mentioned in my vehicle, I had to start, as I mentioned, I didn't finish in my vehicle and in my former apartment. I had to start layering things and then stop to see if they could see through. And so it used to be that if I had 5 layers of that Mylar windshield cover, I was okay. Now it had gone to 8 temporarily, and now it is like basically doubled, because the equipment that these idiots are using is absolutely amazing. I am not amazed. I'm not well, I am amazed, but I'm not enthusiastic about the equipment. But yes, this is very, very high tech equipment that can see through basically anything. Okay. And I never thought, you guys, as I mentioned in another Soup for the Solar, the Blue Cup in the Attic, that I would ever be talking about something like this. I never thought in a million years. But I do know that God has the master plan, and whatever his plans are for me, I am open to them. And also, when I come out of this, and I'm coming out, which is why I'm giving you guys this information of the drastic move, which simply means that you just can't get all your stuff, you guys, and just pack it up and leave and go somewhere else. If you want to move, you just can't do that. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what you can keep and what you need to throw away, and get ready to, first of all, depart with some things. And I do apologize, but, well, I don't have to apologize. I do have to tell you this. You are going to have to depart with things that may be sentimental, things that you probably just bought. You're going to have to go dry almost. And so I'm going to tell you the things that you can keep and that's recommended that you keep, and the things that you just can't keep, you guys. If you don't want to be targeted again, you're going to, and even including your cell phones, you're going to have to throw cell phones away, just everything. And if you're a cheapskate or a person that doesn't understand that how God works and that you can replace those things, this is not going to work for you. You're going to be followed again, because here's the deal. It doesn't even have to necessarily be your phone if you've caught on to that you're being targeted. It could be, furniture and all that. So let me tell you how this goes. Once again, you have to be willing to depart with things that you own. There's not a way around it. And I'm talking major things. You can get them again. Trust me, you can get those things again. Refrigerators, washers, if I can get the word out, washers and dryers, anything that where something could be placed inside or outside. You can't take that stuff with you. And in a nutshell, although I'm going to go over a list, in a nutshell, you can only take fabrics, you guys. Anything fabrics, like your clothes, check the pockets, and I'll go over all of that. You cannot take certain things with you. Like my vehicle. Why would I bring my vehicle here knowing that there's cameras and video equipment on the inside and cameras? And people will say, how did they get on the inside of your vehicle? Honey, I lock my vehicle every time when I could because they manipulated the computer. Some of you out there, targeted individuals, if you're wondering why you can't get in your vehicle, it won't lock, it won't unlock, by the way, it is because they are manipulating, especially if you're on the level I am. And I haven't met too many people, not met people, but I haven't known of too many people on my level. What I mean by my level, not that there's like a level 1, level 2, level 3. When I say my level, the people that have discovered what they're doing, how they're doing it, how they're the pervs that they're hiring. I mean, the whole entire organization, I have basically figured out how they're buying vehicles for the pervs. So to keep them quiet, just the whole thing, all of the letter K's that were in my part that are and were, because some of them have changed license plate numbers and also, fake paper tags, but all of the K's, and it has, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even want to think that the case had anything to do with my name, Kimmy. But anyone that will go to this level to continue to watch someone, it probably does. There were 100 and something plus K license plates in my 14 building apartment complex. Totally abnormal. And I'm in the state of Texas. A lot of them, 35%. I'll say 30% started with KW. Kimmy Wyatt. Circumstance or evidence. Okay. The person who has, that's doing this has a lot of money. I also figured out, because I already knew they were compensating them with vehicles even before I got here. The person who at the top to put them on blast is a person that or the people, they have money, and I'm talking mucho money. Okay. This is organized crime. I'm not talking about somebody with 10 grand. I mean, come on. Are you serious? I'm talking money, like very, very rich, wealthy, well off. And that I do know, because, and whomever this is too has access to vehicles, meaning they either have a car lot, they have something going on with them with vehicles, and therefore are able to get them wholesale at a great deal, probably have several car lots. They're compensating them with these vehicles because they're not paying anything for them. A little of nothing. I also contacted the Department of Motor Vehicles. You've got the Department of the transportation, you got the Department of Motor Vehicles. So, one entity handles this and one entity handles that. So I called the Department, I think, of Motor Vehicles, or the other one, and asked them questions about how are license plate numbers disseminated in the state of Texas. How do they issue out the license plate numbers? Is it random, which was part of my question, or what? And the lady said they're random. I said, okay, which I already, the answer, but you just want to get confirmation. And I said, well, if I owned a car lot, would I be able to request what I wanted my license plate numbers to start with? And she said, yes. Okay. There you have it. Whomever this is, I'll say it again. They have money and they have access to vehicles, and they know they can get them really, really, really cheap. And so they know that to keep someone's mouth closed, buy them a vehicle. Okay. This I do know. So, which is really, really sad. And so, yeah. So here we go. So the first thing I have to tell you guys is, well, I already told you, you have to be willing to depart with stuff. You are. And I do apologize for the noise. Like I said. So the first thing that you are going to have to know is that besides being willing to depart with things, is that you are going to have to, be willing to get rid of furniture. Any kind of furniture. And let me explain, first of all, why you have to get rid of these things, so that you'll know, instead of just going into the list of things. You got to get rid of things, because what they will do, besides your cell phone and your cell phone or phones, throw them away. I didn't put cell phones down here, but I'm going to tell you right now, once you lock up your place for the last time, whether an apartment or home, make sure you can keep the battery. Okay. But if you want to, because you may get the same kind of phone, and, but especially if it's a pretty good battery, and you can sell those if you want, but the phone itself, get rid of it. The phones, get rid of them. One of the things that has happened to a lot of victims is that once they go into their apartment, for instance, you have, like me, I have several phones. If they come into the apartment and you are unaware that they're coming in, because they're not going to mess with anything, and if they do, they're going to put it back exactly like it was. They're trying to get in your phones to get the IMEI number, which means that even if you change your phone number, they are still going to be able to find you. An IMEI number it's just that. It is that phone, not that phone number, none of that. They're still going to be able to find you via location and other things that can be used to via GPS, the world GPS system. Even if your location is off, they're still able to find you with your IMEI number. This number can be found in your phone via toggling through some of the information, usually in About Phone. You can find this number, but also can be found when the battery is out of the phone. If you look behind your battery, if you have problems with your phone, for instance, and you look behind your battery per instructions from your carrier, well, can you look behind the battery and check and see if the IME numbers match? Anything, then yeah. So it's in two places. It's actually in the phone, the programs that are the part of the phone, and it's also in the back of the phone. So if you have your phone locked, for instance, like I pretty much lock my phones unless I've reset my phone and I haven't locked it yet, which I will eventually do. When you lock it, it's going to be a little harder for them to get in. So what they'll do is, with access, they'll come into your apartment. And if you ever leave that phone somewhere, they're watching you. They're watching your every move. You leave that phone somewhere like I did. I just purchased a phone and went up to, and was really good about keeping it with me, but left it, in my briefcase. And I know they've gotten the IME number. It started restarting by itself. It started doing, things. And so I will be throwing that in the trash. It's gone. Okay. You got to be careful about thinking that, well, my phone is still here. It's in the same spot. No, yeah, it's still they're in the same spot because they want to follow you and they're not going to they don't want you to get rid of that phone. So like I said, throw them away. Throw them away. Throw it or them away. Okay. You have to. You can keep the battery, but the case or the little back part to it. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to get the same kind of phone, keep the back of the phone, that you take off to get to the battery. All of that you can keep. But the phone itself, throw it away. And I'm going to be honest with you, when you throw it away, remove the IMEI stickers and throw it away in a trash dumpster where if they want to get it, you're dirty and nasty anyway. So why don't you go ahead and get in the dumpster and get my phone? Okay. I don't need them. So make sure that, like I said, stress. Phones are the number one way that they find you, your cell phones, regardless of IMEI, your phones. Okay. I'm just saying that's the heightened thing that they will do. If you know that you're being gang stalked, the minuscule things are putting apps on your phone and things like that. Even if you turn your GPS off location, they can find you. And it's sad, like I said, a socialite, I ran across her videos on YouTube, and I mentioned this 2 or 3 times in previous videos, and she was wondering, 100 and some thousand people following her or more. How did this person still find her? Honey, first of all, your other video that I've looked at said that you moved into a new home. And if you moved into that home and your dog and cat are looking at a wall and the dog is barking, they're letting you know that some idiot came in and put a camera right there in that wall or did something to that wall. That's what they're doing. Dogs and cats are very smart animals, and they love you, and they're going to try to let you know in their own little way that someone came into that home. She admitted that someone broke into her home, but they didn't steal anything. That's the number one thing they do. They're going to probably start stealing stuff, so you'll think that, it's something else, but then that would be very obvious. Apartments, most of them have cameras. So that's basically your saving grace, is that in most cases they don't steal anything, because that would be very obvious if something is stolen, and then their little organization thingamajig would would eventually dwindle. Okay, so keep that in mind. Somebody came in, they didn't steal anything. Wow, that's weird. No, it's really not. It is weird, but it's organized crime, and they didn't steal anything because they came in and did something, and they don't want your stuff. They want you. This is how a lot of women are being teenagers are being kidnapped. They're being watched in the apartment. They're being followed. A parent is driving, have gone to several places. This has been going on for 3 to 6 months. That child goes to the restroom, or you give them the keys to go to your vehicle in the shopping center, and they'll take the keys and go get my purse. I really need my purse because my other credit card is in there. Well, this is a teenage female. I mean, she's 14. She knows better, and she knows how to go to the vehicle. But what you didn't know is that your freaking teenager, as well as yourself, has been watched in your apartment the entire time that you've been in there. And you go shopping and you see this vehicle, but it doesn't hit you that this person lives in your complex, or maybe not. They don't have to live in the complex. You've got GPS. They put a GPS tracking device on your vehicle. They know everywhere you are, but they want your teenager. She goes to go get your purse out of the vehicle, and you never see her again. Okay. This is real, you guys. And it pisses me off when, not anymore, it really doesn't, but it perturbs me that the people that really, really think that I have freaking time to talk and do these videos to come up with the subject, the blue cup in the attic. No, I really don't, because this is taking a lot of time away, which one of their goals, away from what I would. Now, they don't, let me correct that. They don't stalk you and so that you can take some of your time away. One of their goals is to stop you from making money. If you looked up all of those 5 videos, subjects via video on YouTube, you will see that one of the 4 things that gang stalkers want to accomplish, group stalkers, electronic stalkers, is to stop your life, basically to stop you from making money. Money rules everything. Okay. You guys know that. If you have money, you can go get in a gated community. You can do what I'm about to tell you with your stuff and go get in a gated community. And guess what? You wish, you better hope you don't come in there. You know what I'm saying? When you have money and you know what I'm saying? When I say gated, I'm in a gated community right now, but the gates are always open. That's not the kind of gated community I'm talking about. Money also attracts money. You may meet a guy that has money because you have money. And you guys start hooking up and getting together. They just don't want that. They want you. They want you to be by yourself, alienated, no family, no one hanging around you, no one calling you, etc., etc. This is what they want. And in most cases, they accomplish these things. Especially, once again, when you've gotten to my level and you're realizing what they're doing. I'm going to tell you guys, there are people, when I found out I was a targeted individual by accident, by posting on or commenting on someone's post, and someone informed me that I'm a targeted individual, I thank that person so much. I wish I could meet them in person, because I didn't understand. I knew something was going on, but what is this? What is this? And they told me, you're a targeted individual, and had a video there for me to look at. And I looked at that video, and I went to other videos, and I went to other videos, and I was like, whoa, this is my life. And I'm not saying this is my life. No, everything that was mentioned in those videos about what they do, how they do it, what you're going to go through, the phases, all of that, my life, everything. And also, although you're not mentioning these things to people, you know that something's going on. I clearly remember being at McDonald's a lot. You guys who have been following me, you guys know I was at McDonald's a lot, getting online back in 2014, and I would see vehicles come up and park next to McDonald's. There's a gas station, and I would see these vehicles come and park and just sit there. The person never gets out, but because the sun has gone down, you can look in the window and see me sitting at the table online, and things that I paid attention to, but the other part of the puzzle was not prevalent. It was not there. And so I told people, such and such security guard, this person, somebody comes right there, they just sit there, and you would think that they're trying to get online, but no. Where they would be is the property was owned by the gas station, but it was close to the McDonald's and facing the McDonald's, and cars would just females and males would just come there and just sit. And I thought at the time that it was because of my radio show. They're being nosy. They know I'm in here. I've mentioned that I'm in here, blah, 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 blah. You guys, I've been stalked for a long time. A long time. A long time. And because of that, excuse me for sniffling, I have in my video archives on YouTube the blue cup in the attic. But here's the deal. There's a blue cup in the attic video. There's blue cup in the attic videos such as this. And then there's blue cup in the attic videos, which slash or space or circumstance or evidence. And there's like about 9 incidences where I know in my heart that I've been spied on prior to my discovery that I'm being spied on. Let me say that again so that you'll get it. I know in my heart that there are 9 incidences, 8 or 9, let me say that, where I have been spied on prior to my discovery that I'm being spied on. Okay? And so, yeah, so here we go. I'm going to tell you guys once again, buckle down if you are moving and you don't want this to happen again. And, nothing's 100%, but don't be the reason why they follow you again. You're taking all your furniture, you're taking everything. No. They're even going to follow the vehicle that's taking your stuff to the storage. The females and males, they use females to try to make look innocent. I just went to female's vehicle this week. No. 2 incidences. This time I didn't go to the vehicle. I just asked her, excuse me, do you live here? Hispanic chick of Hispanic descent. And she just pointed to the left. You don't, girl. I mean, but you're right in front of me and you're messing with your phone because you know that I just got dressed to go somewhere and I was earning my clothes. If she's earning her clothes or steaming them, she's fixing to go somewhere. So you guys go and follow her, or you go follow her and see what she's doing. Okay, she's at the front. Check out her phone and see, because they're trying to figure out where I'm moving. So they can start this shit over again. And excuse my language, that's what they want to do. With it won't. If you think that I'm moving into an apartment, you got another thing coming. Woo woo. Relax. So, moving right along. So I had to stress and talk about certain things before I actually get started, so you guys will know and I won't forget to talk about them at the end. So furniture. Okay, I already talked about furniture. No wood furniture, nothing that they can put something in. They will manipulate your wood at the bottom. For instance, turn something over, drill a hole, put a tracking device in there in the legs of your arm, of your chairs and things like that, and you don't even know it. The seams where, like, if you have a love seat, which I just threw a love seat away, they will actually razor blade or whatever, take the seams out really, really nice under the bottom of the chair, put something in there, and you're taking that chair with you. What's under there is, however, is a tracking device that is manipulated with wire. That's a wireless tracking device manipulated by IP address, and all they need is the IP address. Come on, the technology has changed, you guys. You got to get rid of this stuff. You cannot take this stuff with you. God will bless you with more, and look at it as death. If you were dead, you would not be able to take it with you. So look at it that way. And I hate to use that as a reference or an example, but if you were dead, you wouldn't be able to take this stuff with you. So pretend you're dead. Sadly, you can't take stuff with you. I don't care if it belonged to your grandmother. I don't care if it belonged to your mother. You cannot take this stuff with you. No storage, no nothing. Okay. Picture frames. Take the pictures out of the frames and keep the pictures. There's very hard. They cannot manipulate a picture and put tracking devices in a photo. Okay. But the picture frame, and you can look at this stuff now. You can look at it and tell there's nothing there. If you know in your heart there's nothing there in the frame, take it. Metal frame, there's no cracks and crevices where they can lift it up, or you lift it up yourself and see there's nothing there, take it. But leave those picture frames and things, those really elaborate, nice picture frames, the real big ones that have the cracks and crevices in the back of it, honey, leave that there. And I want to stress this to you before I go further. There's a thing called a screwdriver, a screw camera. It looks just like a screw, a Phillips screw. Okay. The same kind of Phillips screw you can buy at your local hardware store that's in your picture frames, for instance, that keeps it intact. There is a camera. Look this up. It's a screw camera and it looks just like a screw. Honey, if you think that there's not a possibility, stress the word possibility, that one of your screws and something that you're taking with you has not been manipulated and the screw changed out that was there, then please, you're fooling yourself. Okay. It's called a screw camera. Just look it up. Screw camera. Believe it or not. Pins. There are pin cameras. Look just like these are functional, not inert items. Inert means that it looks the part, but it does not work. I used to sell security products. So so the company that I dealt with, one of my suppliers would send me inert, okay, pepper sprays, meaning It's the pepper spray can, but there was no contents in it. I mean, you could press it to spray it and all of that. Nothing would come out. But they were for display reasons. Okay, if someone wanted to buy pepper spray, you can give that to them. If they wanted to touch it, feel it, and see how it works, you would give that to them. But you definitely wouldn't give them a full bottle of pepper spray, and you're standing right there, and they can spray you in the face and rob you. So they had these fake items that you could touch and feel, mostly pepper sprays and stun guns that they would send to you, and you could use those as inert items. No. These items are not inert. These are the actual real deals. Okay. Another thing you want to do, not take with you, is toasters, microwaves, can openers. These items can be manipulated to add stuff in there. You can not add electrical wise as well, but there's a disc, just to give you an example, and not to promote this, but and I'm not really going to give a lot of details on this, but there's a disc that's about the size of a quarter tracking device. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. You know, it's just, these things can be placed anywhere. So don't take any microwaves, don't take any toasters, don't take any can openers, no electronics. This is going to be your radios, nothing electronic. I'm serious. If you plug it in, don't take it. Now, if you are an electrician like I am by self-proclaimed, because I can hook up stuff, if you want to keep the wire itself that goes into the wall, because I don't know if you're like me, but I'm very crafty, I will cut the wire off as close to the item as possible and keep the plug, actually, the cord, because I may need it later on down the line to hook something up, you know, that where there is, for instance, for a perfect example, like for instance, my steamer, you know, it's just, it finally, so I know how to fix it. You know, I'm going to fix it, and, you know, that's the deal. So you take an electrical cord that you've cut off something else and fix it that way, and you're okay. Because the voltages are basically the same. You got your 240 volt, and I'm not going to go into voltages, but you know what I'm saying. So, and our stuff is 120, by the way, in the U.S. in most cases, unless it's a washer dryer or something like that requires a special plug, some heavy duty stuff. Other than that, it's a the refrigerator, 3 prongs. But you guys, you can't take this stuff with you in a nutshell. Okay, to get back on cue. No electronics. I'm trying to think of other electronics that you can't take with you. So I talked about the cell phones. No electronics. If you plug it in, don't take it. Okay. Another thing you can't take is metal furniture. Anything that has holes in it. I have a plant stand right now, a 3-tier plant stand that is goldish with black, like antique, basically, because it's been in our family for years. But it looks, it's gold paint and black paint where someone just splashes of black paint. This is how it's made, you know, where someone just threw paint at it, you know, basically to design it, and or not threw it, but, you know, like strips of paint. When you take the brush out and you still have like the string of paint coming down, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. And I'm not going to take that with you because if you turn it upside down, it's a square. And if you turn it upside down, there's holes under there where, you know, the 4 parts that hold it together. There are holes under there now. There used to not be. It used to have the little caps, but some of those spaces are open. You can't take that stuff with you. They can stuff something in there, a Bluetooth this and throw that stuff away. You know, you can keep the tops that the plants would stand on, or sit on, but the planter itself, it has to go. I can't take stuff with me. I'm sitting in a chair right now. I can't take this with me. I will not be taking it with me. I will not be taking any furniture with me, idiots. Okay. None at all. Your refrigerator and major appliances, refrigerator, freezer, if you have a separate freezer, like I said, washer and dryer. I'm sorry, washer and dryer. You can't take these items with you, guys. The bigger the item, the more chances are that they can manipulate it. Do not take these with you. God will bless you with another one. Just go to the store. Because I mentioned things that you can take. I'm going to mention those next. Go to the store, use your pots and pans, use your stove. If you got rid of your microwave, I'm sorry. Until you can get another one. Those microwaves do save, I have to admit, some energy if you're just trying to warm up food. But you can't think about that. Your safety and privacy is the most important thing. Throw it away. You can even sell these things, you guys, because I'm going to tell you, if they're trying to watch you, they're just trying to watch you, and most tracking devices do not have like the cameras or anything, so they're just going to hear the person's conversation. But do yourself and other possible victims a favor and dismantle these items. I'm not just saying just throw them away. You throw them away where they can't be used anymore, okay, by no one. And I know that sounds kind of selfish, but throw them away and dismantle them. Toaster, tear it apart. Literally, get a hammer where no one else will want it and just beat it to death and take the card off. It's sad you have to do that. I didn't mention that. When I say throw away, or not, when I say you can't take it with you, I'm not talking about just, well, I'm going to give it. Never give any of this stuff to any of your relatives. Never. Don't even let them buy it. Say, no, I have to protect my privacy. I will let you have this, but I can't. Because they have your cell phone number from way back when they got in my cell phone. And I just, no, you can't. You got to cover your back. You guys, cover your back. Okay, here are things that you can take with you, but be cautious. Cookware. Make sure that you take the handles, get a good screwdriver or electric drill, and take the handles off of all of your cookware. Check the screws to make sure they're not cameras, and also look into the if you can, depending on what kind of cookware it is, look off in there in the handles and see if there's holes or things can be manipulated. I know some of this sounds like paranoid, and I'm happy about that. You have to do this if you don't want to be followed. Okay, you got to do it. You can easily keep those screws and put them in a sandwich bag, sealed. The Ziploc kind or whatever, and keep those screws and put those screws back in there when you arrive to, after you wash your pots and pans and stuff and at your new location, and then put the handles back on. But dismantle the handles on all of your cookware. Okay. And I'm talking, your cookware, like anything that if it's that has handles on it and screws. Now, if it's glass, come on, you don't have to do that. You don't see any handles or any, it's got handles, but you don't see any screws or anything. Come on, use your common sense. You can take that with you. Easy. Bakeware. And I can mention a name right now, but I'm not. I'm just going to say Orning. You put the rest of it on there. They have bakeware that you can put in the microwave and you can put in the oven. Come on. Most of that stuff doesn't have any screws or anything on it. Take that with you. You don't have to sit there and, I wonder if it's something in here. No. Come on. Now that is paranoid. Clothes. Here's the deal. Take your clothes. You can take all of your clothes, but with this note, and excuse the noise, like I said, your clothes, you need to check pockets. Check the pocket, fold it up, put it in the box. Check the pockets, fold them up, put them in the box. Check the pockets, fold them up, put them in the bag or box. Okay, check all of the pockets of your pants. Check all of anything that has pockets inside. I have jackets that have inside and outside pockets. Remove any of the contents in those pockets, and then immediate. Oh God, this sinuses. Immediately fold them, each item, and put them in the box that they're going, or bag that they're going to go in. Once the bag and box is full, tape it up. Okay, however you're going to do that, and put a marking on each one of your boxes and bags that no one else will know. In other words, if you have a box, and I'm glad I just thought of this. Once your stuff is boxed up and you've checked it and everything is okay, please buy supplies, You're going to need shipping tape, plenty. You're going to need, chances are, I don't know what you have. You're going to need boxes. Make sure the boxes are new, if at all possible. But, go get the boxes from the back of the grocery store or something, in the dumpster or, of any type of grocery store. But you need shipping tape and you need markers. What you're going to do with these markers is you're going to put a mark on your boxes that only you would, your writing, something that only you know how to draw. If you can tell that it is, because you're going to have to leave sometime and go somewhere. Okay. And so make sure that when you mark these boxes with your insignia, not your name, but something really weird that that you're the one that did that, because you want to seal these boxes up. And I'm going to tell you, you take that tape off those box tape and make sure the tape is down, like press it down. You take that tape off those boxes. Chances are it's going to show that it's been manipulated. Okay. It's going to show that it's been manipulated. And that's the purpose of, and purpose of putting your own kind of insignia or something, some kind of label that you keep in your purse. You're doing this packing in 2 to 3 days. So no one should be in your purse. Keep your purse with you, but you may have bought these labels or have these labels that no one else has, and you're going to put one of those labels on the box. Okay, glue it on there if at all possible. That'll let you know if that label has been messed with, or they have to change the box because they used a cutter or something to open the box to put something in it. You're gonna know they don't have any more labels. So why doesn't this box have the right label? Don't put labels that can be transferred to another box. Make sure these are one box labels or one adhesive labels, meaning once it's lifted up, it's going to lift up something to let you know, that label has been manipulated. Okay. You guys know where I'm going. I mean, just put some insignia on your boxes and seal them up immediately once full with tape, and put something on there so that they don't open up and rebox your stuff. And make you think that, and I know this sounds weird, but honey, they will go to the ends of the earth to do things like this. And I know it sounds like, what? You guys listen to me. I'm true to this, not new to it. They will do some stuff that you and it would even enter our minds to do, as you can see. We would never even think to do anything like this. Very crafty and very evil and sadistic and all that. Okay. Shoes. It's okay to take your shoes, especially if they're heels, but be careful with tennis shoes. Check your tennis shoes to make sure that the rubber soles of your tennis shoes have not been manipulated so that something can be placed up under there and sealed back together. So make sure that I wouldn't take tennis shoes, but if you're going to take them, make sure there's nothing in the inside of your tennis shoes by accident. And when I say by accident, this is not an accident, but this is what I mean. They can put something in the inside of your shoe, your tennis shoe, and they find out where you live because they put a tracking device in there. And guess what? They don't care in this case if you remove it, because that's all they wanted to know is where you live. So shake your tennis shoes, put your fingers off in there. Be careful of spiders and things like that. But check your tennis shoes if you want to wash them in the washer, which will totally mess up any electronics that they have in there. Wash them and everything. And if you're afraid of spiders and brown recluses, but put your hands in there and make sure there's nothing in your shoes. Okay. If you're going to take tennis shoes and things like that with you. Curtains are okay. But you need to check for the weighted part of the curtain. Most curtains, especially those that are custom made, will have a metal weight right in the corner of the curtain to keep the curtain straight. They will literally undo the material, undo the thread, and place something off in that corner. And then you take that with you, and because you just took them down and balled them up and put them in a box. No, you need to feel around the parameter of your curtains to make sure that nothing has been placed in there, and then you can box them, wash them, box them, or whatever. All right. But if they're custom made, in most cases, they're going to have a weight, GHT rather, that's in there, and to keep them, when you hang them, it just helps them to hang down. Make sure that no one has put their finger off in there and put something in there. They'll do this stuff, you guys. I'm telling you. Blankets. Blankets are okay. Unless you have a blanket, check the parameter around the edges with your fingers. Just go all the way across. Make sure there's nothing hard off in like where the seams are. But blankets are okay, and you can wash these too. Washing these items will, for two reasons, they will be clean when you get ready to use them in your new place. But most importantly, if there's something electrical in there, that water is going to damage whatever that is. Trust me. Okay. So you can wash these beforehand. Okay, so pillows, same thing. If you're, I wouldn't take pillows, but if you are going to take pillows, like maybe one, so that you'll have at least one pillow, please check that pillow for checking around the parameter of that pillow to make sure that there's nothing in there. Take the pillowcase off, put it in the washing machine, dirty clothes, if you're just taking dirty clothes, whatever you have to do, and make sure that you are taking just the pillow and not something in the stuffing. So what you want to do is go around the parameter of that pillow with your fingers to make sure that you don't feel anything hard, the seams rather. And you also want to look at the seams of the pillow to see if any parts of the seams have been manipulated. If you see anything, don't second guess it. Don't say, oh, this was there last time. Throw it away. Throw it away. You can, if you can't buy a pillow, I mean, come on. You can go anywhere and get a pillow. And I highly suggest you throw them away. This includes your fashion pillows. If you've got fashion pillows on the couch that you're throwing away or whatever, you can keep the pillows, but make sure that you check those pillows for things, especially if they have zippers where you can put the stuffing in, anything like that. You need to check that stuff. Take the stuffing out and check it. You would be, like I said, you'd be surprised what they would do. And that pillow, you don't use it, and you're going to move and not use it. You just want to keep it and until later on. And when you get ready to use it, it's on your couch. And guess what? There's a tracking device in it. Okay, so you know, just checks and balances, you guys. Okay, pillowcases, same thing. Pillowcases are okay. Pillowcases are flat, so the chances of something being in a pillowcase is you know what I'm saying. Go ahead and wash it to mess up any electronics that may be there, but you can do a visual and tell there's nothing in a pillowcase. Okay, so you can keep those canisters. These are where you put your beans and your sugars and your teas and all that. Canisters are usually okay because it's usually a excuse me for moving this stuff. Canisters are usually okay because, you know, you put your flour in there and all of that, but it depends on how it's made. It's usually a sealed item, meaning that there's no seams or anything in the item, so you usually can take those with you normally. Okay, look under the bottom. You see something wrong attached to the bottom of this stuff with tape. You already know something's going on. You look under the bottom of your canister set and you see recording device or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You can take it off, but just throw it away. Throw the whole set away. Break it. Throw it away. You know, because you're also bringing bad vibes into your new place. If that happens, you're bringing all kinds of bad vibes into your new place. If you just take off what you see but you want to keep it. Don't be a cheapskate. Get rid of it. You can replace this stuff. Boxes that hadn't been opened. If you have boxes that you've taken from one apartment or place to another, you never opened them up, please take the contents out of those boxes and check the contents of the box. Check any clothes. If clothes were in there, check the pockets of clothes. Check everything in that box and rebox it. According to what I just said earlier. Tape it up. As soon as you box it, tape it up really, really good. And the best way to tape a box up is this is why I say purchase more tape than you normally would, is to go all the way around the parameter of that box. Start at the seal, the closure, and go and turn it over. Take the tape around all to the bottom. Just keep going around and around and around. That's the best way. Okay. I'm not saying do it 50 times, but do it like 2 or 3 times. That way, you don't have to worry about the bottom of the box being open, and it's sealed up, and there you have it. Okay. So do that. So rebox, check the contents and rebox anything. And I'm not saying even if that box looks like it has not been messed up, it's the same. It's messed up at all. It's the same way that it is, how you boxed it. It is the same way that you boxed it the first time. Undo those boxes. We're talking crafty. They can slide something in there where there's no tape, so just put their fingers in there and slide. Redo the boxes, okay? Rugs are okay. Check the bottom of the rugs before rolling them up. I don't care what size it is. Check the bottom of the rug. If it's got fringes or something on it, trimmings, just shake it and make sure. But rugs are usually okay. Bottles. You got bottles. Bottles are okay. Glass. These are given. You can usually take bottles with you. Look under the bottom, especially if it's a colored bottle and you can't see through it. But bottles usually are okay. Planters are usually okay, depending on how they're made. Okay, just check it. Check the bottom of all of these, by the way. Not first, just make sure you check the bottoms. And most planters are usually okay because these are things that are non-porous, meaning there's not holes in them, and because they are planters and the water would come out, you're usually okay with these, but maybe the outside of it is made a little different, so you want to check any holes or that are there by default for decorative holes and things like that. You want to check these. Lastly, even though there's more things that you can keep and throw away, books and magazines are okay. That's a given. Shake your books and magazines. However, just pull it up by the cover and just shake to make sure there's nothing in there. But you can kind of do a visual and look at these things and tell that there's nothing there. Anything else, you guys, it's up to you to discover. And all I'm saying is check your items. You can't take anything with you. If it looks suspicious, it's suspicious. Even if it's your item, but it looks suspicious. You cannot take that with you. And they're going to be mad at you because they're watching you with cameras, and they're going to be pissed off that you discovered that, oh, no. Not today. Burn anything that you see. If you can burn items in your apartment, and I'm not saying cause a fire, but go to the sink and burn anything that you see, basically. Now, if they're electronics and you see, for instance, Bluetooth items and just make them, you don't have to burn them. Just cut, scissors, knives, whatever you have to do to make that item inoperable. Pull out the wires and throw them away. Let them see that you're not going to win. You're not going to just follow me and watch me whenever you get ready. Just pull that stuff out in their face, while they're watching, and let them see that I found this. Oh, well. And also call the police department. If you find something in your items before you even touch it, call the police department and have them come out and do a police report. Chances are they're not going to take it with them. And so once they do the police report, you don't want to keep this for evidence because you're moving. So you do want to take pictures of it, video of the item after you call the police or before, or while the police is there. The police sometimes will let you video while they're there. Just don't video their face. But you can do body videos with the police there to and to help your case. And so letting whomever's going to handle your case know that the police were very well aware of the situation. They were on the premises, okay, before I destroyed it. All right, and that's some of the best advice I can give you. Some of the best, not the best, but some of the best advice I can give you guys. Like I said, please join my YouTube channel. I am putting all the videos 200 plus in playlist. I've already started doing that. And if you just want to go to the Blue Cup in the Attic items, you're going to be able to do that. Or the Blue Cup in the Attic circumstance or evidence items. They are separate from the Blue Cup in the Attic items. Circumstance or evidence, once again, is me knowing or feeling that I've been spied on way before now, or before I discovered I was being spied on. I think there's like 8 or 9 incidences. I've already published up 3 of those. And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, they're already in the playlist of the Blue Cup in the Attic, okay? Also, to go to my Google Plus page or any of my social media pages, please look at the bottom, the text. Just click the text, all of the information. Chances are, let me say that, because I am doing the videos. But if you don't see like contact information for me right now, then just click a couple of videos and look at the text, and then you're bound to find one going backwards from that video. You're bound to find, as a matter of fact, you are going to find videos with my contact information there. Okay. And so, yeah, it's not going to be a part 2 because I just randomly wrote these down like within 5 minutes or less. So the yays and the nays, which you can take. So it's up to you, you guys, in a nutshell. You use your common sense cell phones? No, 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 no. No, that's going to be the number one way they're going to get in contact with you in lieu of everything I've said is your freaking cell phone. Keep the battery. They can't manipulate the battery. Keep the battery. Keep, if you're going to get the same kind of phone and you can have these things as backups for your new one. But, yeah, just if you want to throw the battery away, some people, say, I don't even want the battery, throw the battery away. Let's see what else I have to tell you. If I forget something, I will post it at the bottom where this video is posted. Okay, know that. And I do appreciate you guys. And we have to stick together, the TIs, targeted individuals, and as well as those who they're targeted, but they're not quite aware that they're being targeted. They just know something is going on weird. They're going to slip eventually, especially once you figure out all you got to do. Let me finish my sentence. Especially once you figure out what they're doing. Okay. I came home 3 times last week. My back door was open 3 times. Okay. Done on purpose, I'm sure, but they get pissed off when you change something or you cover something up. We're going to let you know we're still watching you, also, please, like I have, you guys invest in some weaponry. Okay. If you're able to purchase weapons, please purchase some metal. And you guys know what I'm saying. You have rights. And when these people are sickos, you have rights to shoot. You are spying on me. If you see, check the laws in your area, but someone's coming in your apartment and they don't see, first of all, if you need to go in your place with security. Don't wait 2 or 3, 4 weeks down the road and then say, oh, you know what? I was supposed to put a security system in here. I talk about security systems in a blue cup in the attic, which I'm going to say it again here. Make sure that the security system that you get is a manned, MANNED security system, meaning it's monitored. Okay. Meaning the monitoring company is going to know every time you come into your apartment. And I know that has changed. I know back in the day, they wouldn't necessarily, well, they would know when it's been armed and disarmed. Yes, they would. And I'm happy and proud to announce that Brinks, I'm not saying you have to use them or whatever, and not to promote them, but just talking to a Brinks individual about my situation. I was informed that Brinks is coming back into play with their monitoring system, which they got rid of. I'm assuming when the economy got bad and people started going to wireless internet protocols for their security systems. I do not suggest those. I really don't, because they can be manipulated. Someone can manipulate the Wi-Fi of those particular types of security systems. And once it's manipulated, you'll never see footage because they're going to keep the system there. They're not going to steal it. Remember, I said that earlier. They're just going to take the footage away. So you're going to be like, what happened? Okay, why isn't there footage? And if you're not technical like I am, you're just going to keep on engaging it and just wondering what's going on. Why is it unplugged? No. You get a monitor system, just make sure you keep your electricity on or something like that. Just get a monitor system because, baby, let me tell you, you need a backup plan, and that they're going to be physical humans are going to be the best backup plan that you're going to have. Humans that are going to call you, make sure your phone service is on. They're going to call you and tell you something's going on. That way, that's your cue to know to look around your place because something has been done. If you don't see anything stolen, please know that something has been manipulated in your place. Okay. Please know that. No one came in your place just to come in and just smell the beans that you just cooked. And I've had that happen. An idiot would eat my food. But I cooked some smothered roast where I cooked. I'm not going to go into detail what I do, but I fried it. I always fry my if I'm going to smother something, I'm going to fry it first. Because the flour helps to make the gravy, as you guys know that if you know how to cook. And so I had a roast that I cut up, instead of making stew, I had smothered roast. And I come in and I'm like, okay, this is just an example. I come in and someone has been eating my porridge, like the 3 bears. I'm like, what is going on? I had a lot left. I cook a lot, and in most cases to have extra meals, but I got that from my mother, period. So different incidents, different things. Just be aware. Follow your senses. I have the Blue Cup in the Attic on your senses. I don't know the title, but your senses are going to give you clue more than anything else as to something is going on. Something is not right. And like I said, this is real. I'm living this every day, and it's sickos that's doing it. But hey, I got God on my side, and I got other things going on that I don't want to announce. And I'm telling you, just hold on. Just hold on. It's going to be great. It's going to be better. You're going to get the last laugh. I know in my case, I am. I can't speak for anyone else. So if you do the things that I'm telling you to do, you're going to get the last laugh. Always, if you find anything weird going on, someone came to your apartment, whatever it is, call the police department, because documentation beats conversation 24 hours a day. Learned that when I was in network marketing, and it is a true statement. Make sure that if you have to shoot someone, that you have documentation, that you have been calling the police, that they have police reports, that you have been calling them. Shoot the shit out of them. Excuse my language. Shoot them. Okay? You have rights. They come in your place and you catch them in there, ask one question. What are you doing in my apartment? What are you doing in my home? And they should not have any reason as to what they have no excuse to give you why they're in your home. Shoot them. Because my friend, I'm not going to name his name, and I have named his name, I think in other Soup for the Souls as well, probably the Blue Cup in the Attic. He told me. He said, all you got to do is show them some metal. Meaning, you know what I'm saying? When I say show them some metal, they'll leave you alone. And because I put race in this, he is of Hispanic and Indian descent. He's biracial. And so when you got a Hispanic telling you what to do, and most of the people that are doing this are of Hispanic descent, that speaks volumes. He said, just show them some metal. They'll leave you alone. So, but see, I'm the type of person, when I show you my metal, I'm going to use it. Moving right along. Hasta la vista. Buenos Aires. Buenas noches. Arrivederci. Au revoir. Salida. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. If I missed something and you guys have any ideas that you need to pass on, that you would like to pass on, please post those comments at the bottom. Please comment on the video, period. Tell me what you think about the video. Did I miss something, which I know I did. I know I missed a lot of things, but just to give you samples of how this should go, that basically, that in a nutshell, rather, you can't take everything with you when you're moving. You're going to go through the same stuff that you're going through prior. You can't. And if you really want to just do it up, just take your clothes, check your pockets. Like I said, just take your clothes and your shoes. Anything else, God will bless you to get again. TV. Ooh, please do not take a TV with you. Don't take any of that stuff with you guys, because this stuff can be manipulated. And what they're going to do, they're going to wait till the last, when they see you start packing stuff. Oh gosh, speaking of packing stuff, when you start packing your things, don't pack your stuff weeks in advance. You're asking for it. Always pack your stuff like 2, maybe 3 days max before you're really 2. I mean, I'm talking throwing stuff, just checking it, throwing it in there, checking. You don't have time for all that folding. Now fold your clothes up if you don't have like a steamer or something. But other than that, if you got kids, stuffed animals, they're out. Sorry. Just check everything, and then you'll be safe. Just to be on the safe side. Go into paranoia mode. Check everything, and you will be safe. Look at your pens to make sure they're not. If you got a bowl of pens or a thing that holds your pens, make sure there's not a camera there off in there, because they know that you're probably not going to check. I mean, just check everything, you guys. I don't know another way to say it, because they're going to wait, like I said, until the last minute before they do something, because you have less chances of finding it than if they were to do it 2 weeks prior to you moving. They know you're moving. They hear your conversations. They hear you talking on the phone. They know that you've gone up to the office, and they know all of this. I know for a fact the cameras around the perimeter of this building are manipulated by the former maintenance guy, but he's gone. So he has his people that are still watching it. And also the cameras are also Wi-Fi cameras. So he is still watching what's going on at this apartment complex. I don't care who hears me and know it. That's what's going on. Wi-Fi. You guys, when you're thinking of Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi is the connection. But Wi-Fi means when it comes to cameras, that camera has an IP address, an internet protocol address, which means that, okay, that's like you wanting to go to a website in China. Now, China has different kinds of things, going on where some websites you can't go to, especially if you don't reside in China. Likewise, Chinamen, some cannot go to some American websites, because that's just the way it is. You can't even get to them if you're in that country. So, but keep in mind that IP address is IP address. 192.168.1.5254, 12.13.114.75. It's always going to be 4 sets of numbers, or it could be just a single number, but it's going to be 4 sets of numbers. 8.10.54.167. That's an IP address. And with that IP address, you can go do anything. And that's how they're going to be able to find you again, with that IP address of whatever they have put in your apartment or your stuff. So even if you go to China, like I said, I'm going to say Brazil, any place like that, where a United Kingdom, that's a perfect one. That's one of our sister countries. You go to United Kingdom, hey, that's a wrap. United Kingdom is definitely, when it comes to commerce, one of our sister companies. You can ship stuff to United Kingdom and without usually not that much restriction. Okay, so you go to the United Kingdom and you think that you're set free. Oh, okay, here she is. Yeah, because we put this IP address such and such and such in here, and so I gotta go, you guys. I just hope that you take this stuff serious and take me serious. I love to have fun and stuff, but this is a serious incident for me. And get you some metal, you guys. Please invest in. If you don't want to carry a gun, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You got to get you some metal, because they're going to keep bothering you because they think they're bad. They think they can mess with you. Look up machoism. Most of these people that are doing this at the top are of Hispanic descent: Guatemalans, Salvadorans, Hondurans, and Mexicans. You look them up. Look up machoism. MACHI. I want to say CISM. MACHICISM, machoism. These men of Hispanic descent think that they can do whatever they want. In most cases, because they feel like women are beneath them. No, baby, you must not have ever dated a Black African woman. You can look at me all day, but don't try to date me, because guess what? Your head's going to get blown off. Two totally different sets of women. Black African women as a whole are not going to take any mess. And I'm going to tell you, Black African women out there that think this is funny, okay, stop hating on me because you, or lying on me saying I'm crazy because you don't like me. That's something else I have to say. Stop lying on me because you don't like me. You need to listen to what I'm saying. And I'm going to say this and end it this way. Most of the women that are victims of this, most of them are Black African women. Here's the reason why. And I know some people are going to get mad, and I don't care. The United States is the only country in this world where Black African women are not revered as the most beautiful women. Am I bragging? No. It's just a statement, and it's a fact. We can go to any other country, even including United Kingdom, and we're revered as the most beautiful women on the planet. We are. It's only in the U.S. Black African women are not revered as the most beautiful women on the planet. Now, that's a hard pill to swallow for some people, especially if you're prejudiced, but it's a true statement. This is the reason why only Black African women are being spied on in these situations. In most cases, I knew of a white woman that was being spied on, but predominantly Black African women. Black African women are considered some of the dumbest women on the planet as a whole, because out of the major races, because we don't pay attention to things and blah 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 blah. The Black African race, period. So they're taking advantage of the fact that we don't pay attention to things, that we stab each other in the back, that we don't care about our fellow man, that we don't. And because of that, this is the reason why Black African women are becoming victims, because they are initial victims from the Guatemalans, Salvadorans, and Hondurans, but they're also victims behind their own race of people that are doing the same thing to them that these people of Hispanic descent are doing, per instruction. So on that note, If you're wondering why Black African women are the ones that are being watched in all cases, our own people are killing us and having us looked at and things like that, and also the Guatemalans, Salvadorans, Hondurans, and Mexicans. Our own people are having us visually raped and looked at in our homes because of money that you and I, if you're like me, wouldn't even please. Are you serious? And I will say it, this is really my end note. This is how we became slaves. Gotta go.